And it's not that difficult. I can't do it with this leg here, but you squeeze your glutes. And I'll already come up. If I'm not engaging my abs, then I can squeeze my glutes where I want, but I'm still sitting there. And the funny thing is that if you engage your abs, you also engage your erectors here in the back. And you can do it by yourself if you just have two fingers there and you press your tummy, you feel in the back there. So it's quite easy actually to activate those two things, there and there. Yeah, so squeeze my butt button and sit up a bit. Now I can keep structure. Now I can just sit there, but from here to there, I can do whatever I want. I have all the freedom. Yeah, and so basically arriving in the back turn, hop, suspending, then letting go of that suspension. But here it's loose, but I keep this position just for a bit. Just for a bit, long enough for everyone in the boat together. So it's a real gathering point. Arriving there together, but also departing out of it together. Really see it as a gathering point. Now the translation of, and I don't know whether people see some people rowing on the Yarra, the interpretation is you row and just get into that position. It doesn't matter too much how you get there or how you depart, but it's very much position focused. So it's an empty, I would say empty position, because everyone can sit like this, but it doesn't really mean that you have suspension and let go and provide for that structure. So there's a bit more to it than just sitting there and hanging in the back. Okay. Now, moving on. Coming out of it, well, we have to make sure that that boat really comes with us, and all the masses have been working in the direction of the bow. What happens if we start floating too early with our seat? Then the connection where those masses with the boat is a bit lost, so the boat has to do it on its own. But we want to have that momentum, inertia of those masses going that way together with the boat, so the system needs to be intact. Well, we do that by just being patient, having our feet on that foot stretcher, having that seat fixed there. We can move this, but we want that mass to stay in there. The boat has a bit of a delayed effect. If I push it, it won't directly come with me. You sort of feel it like as a sort of sponge, but then afterwards, it starts to come. So there were people with measuring devices on the boat. They found out that actually the highest speed of the boat is just after the takeout of the blade. Well, that's weird, because then I'm not putting any power on it or any force of on the water. But that's the result of the work you've done in the stroke plus inertia of the masses going that way and staying in contact with the boat. So it's a very important phase, because as soon as I lift my blade out, the only thing is I can disrupt the run of the boat, which brings the average speed down. So I have to be very careful that I keep that speed up, and if I can, we call it the surge, if I can really support that surge, boat coming loose just after my takeout, then I'm doing good business for myself in keeping that speed up. Yeah, so that's quite important. But who here has felt the surge of the boat? Anyone? Yeah? Anymore? Has any coach ever said to you, try to feel the surge? So that's maybe something you can also ask of yourself. Oh, maybe I want to feel that surge. Bubbles under the boat. Anyone?
Yep.
Okay, I see more nods. But that's the only time you can actually hear the bubbles under the boat is when you sit there. Because the wheels are not rolling, and if you're lucky you have very smooth wheels, but if you're not lucky, and you hear those wheels going, but you don't hear the bubbles under the boat. So that's where, hey, I open my ears, and that sort of gives me feedback of how that boat is running. Right, so first that surge, and we're gonna look for that surge then next time we're on the water, hopefully. And the other one is the bubbles under the boat. And I think if you have an idea of those two, then you're ready to start your build-up for the next stroke. And you can say, yeah, but we have to do some work. Yeah, but that's exactly what I would say the difference is between what a coach is trying to do and what a trainer is trying to do. If I can sort of indicate it like that. A coach is about, you know, trying to enable people to do that activity better. A trainer would say, oh, we have to do 20 minutes, but no time. What? Listen to the book? Forget it. Go, 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 go. And so every now and then we just have to make a choice. But I would say, if you got 1 hour to spend on the water, you at least have to have some quality time with your crew and the boat, enjoying how you are able to meet the boat. Whether it's in the warm-up or whether it's somewhere down the line. And I really like to sort of build it up and then say, okay, let's see how this transfers if we drive it into intensity at the end of the outing. And an hour is not that long. So you won't have to sort of go up and down for ages to get your satisfaction in that sense. Right? So I think what's very important is that we understand what we do actually there, and also what kind of effect it has when we don't, when we depart too soon out of the battle. Coming out of it, there's also different choice, but I would say hands move through. Sometimes you can see, especially in international rowing, that people really like to hold their hands here and then do that. There's a theory behind it, and it's too complicated to do here, but it also has to do with the movement of the boat. And if you look at the oars and foursome, I hope the fanatics here have a bit of an idea of what that was. They had a very particular style, and that was and almost accelerating into the front. And also just to keep that boat speed up. But for now, I would say my choice, if I have to put something in practice for the club, would be, okay, we sit there, we enjoy, but the hands just move through. I like the flow. Yeah, that's my personal choice. When the hands lead out, you know, by the time you can see your elbows, you can start doing that, and then you can come to the front. Right? But then we're in a different segment already of the stroke. So let's just first see if we can get, whenever you are in the boat, whether it's in single or 4 or an 8, that everyone can recognize what they're doing. And also that they can come up with some sort of structure. So that's for coxswains also, to give that space, give that room. Nice speed, absolute speed is not so important at the moment. Let's just see how we sit there, how we gather, how we really come together as a crew. And I think that's a good starting point. Now, Ron is taking all this, so we'll have some notes, but I'll also come with some more explanation, trying to support the idea or trying to describe it a bit more. And of course, with this, it doesn't stop. You can build it out. You can make it even more, I would say, complicated if you really want. Because part of the thing is learning to control or manage that activity is that you can do more with it. And you can say, okay, the back turn, what is it? Well, now you can already put in some items, but most probably, and hopefully after a couple of weeks of trying to execute it, come up with a whole new list of sensations, which are very valid for you. And I think that's something that we try to encourage, I think, in the coaches and coxswains, also to share a bit of that experience. How did you get it? What did you work on? How did you get it what was the result, how did it feel, or how did it work out. Now if we get there, and I'm now diverting a bit from the topic because I think we've talked about a lot now about the vector. If we do that, then my job gets less and less intense because you guys are starting to develop that knowledge and all the sensations that come with it, and hopefully you also get a bit hungry about theories behind it. Well, I'm always available to give some information or talk about it, take doubts away, stuff like that. But the real power of this program would be that you guys are starting to carry it, and you don't have to be a coach or a coach to carry that. Because what if you're in a coachless form? You want to be able to go out, but you also want to be supportive of each other. And I would say, what's wrong in sort of at the end of the leg, just taking a moment and assessing how things went. Oh, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that, stuff like that. So you take over my role, as it were. And I think that's where you can make really good steps. I don't see that happening too often now, because as soon as there's a coach on shore, it's like, okay, coach, tell me, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. But we want to move a bit more towards independently operating units. Having said that, there's always a place for people who really want to know and want to work on something. So it's always, I'm not gonna say, if you ask me, okay, tell me what to do, I'm not gonna say nothing and say, okay, what do you want to do? Yeah, that's not the game, because I feel we have to share the knowledge, and if I can add, first of all, with giving some knowledge that can be shared, then I think also part of my job is done. And so if you're wondering where the budget is going to, these kind of things and these kind of thoughts, how we can lift the club in that sense. And so that in the end, when I step away, you guys can just take it over. I hope that we can really set the first step already in this month. We'll assess, of course, at the end of the month, the coaches group, see where we are, whether we can maybe speed things up or whether we keep at the same pace. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Any questions, remarks?